We gonna play the game, the PlayStation all day, with the Metal Gear Solid to Tekken 3, and from Omega Boost to Resident Evil. Just play for the fun, cause we got it going on.
Alright, so I'll go ahead and dive into the rest of the demos here today, and I'll start off with some fairly simple ones. We'll start by going into Midtown Manhattan here with Loki. If you remember, I actually unlocked Who Scrutinizes the Sentinels for this. So basically what I'll be doing for most of these demos after what happened with Black Panther especially is I'll go ahead and just do the initial portions, just show the general areas where to go, that kind of thing. I won't finish the vast majority of them, simply to save on time, and that way you don't really have to be bored, unless it happens that I finish them very quickly. So, obviously, for Who Scrutinizes the Sentinels, it takes place in Midtown Manhattan. You can see here it says, go to Midtown. So very exciting. And what we're looking for are mutant civilians. They have life bars above their heads, assuming that you either hold Alt as you're wandering around, or you have it set to permanently say everything. I recommend having it permanently set, but that's just me. So typically the mutant civilians will be hanging out on the street corners, but sometimes you will see them in the middle of the roads. So like here's one right here, mutant civilian. And essentially around them you'll see a sentinel come down, just like that. The sentinels are actually pretty nice to kill regardless of your situation, be it that you're just working towards the legendary quest itself, or if you're just wandering around either waiting for a specific spawn or something like that. Really doesn't matter. Either way, you're going to have some great results with the Sentinels. They give a lot of experience, particularly if you take them out before they get to the, what's it called, the civilians. So that's always nice. So like I said, I'll just wander around a little bit more, see if I can find one or two more. It used to be that the there's one right there. It used to be that the mutant civilians were a lot more common in Midtown. Now they're fairly rare, but still certainly not bad at all. Okay, and this is actually a really nice quest to end up getting. Again, the experience from taking out the Sentinels, plus the eventual experience from getting the quest done. Speaking of which, this particular quest is worth 1 Odin mark, and then the credits and the experience. So not extremely worthwhile, but you can see why it goes relatively quickly. So with that, I'll go ahead and move into the next one. Alright, we're back again with Loki for another Midtown Manhattan mission, and this one being the Tendrils of Limbo. So the Tendrils of Limbo is to defeat demons and sorcerers. A lot of times with these Midtown Manhattan missions, you'll have some slightly strange groups of bad guys that you have to take out, and it can be really confusing what works and what doesn't. And in this case, the demons and sorcerers, well, first off, regardless, you can look up what you need to take out. So in this case, we need Ngarai, demons, Hand, Serpent Men, sorcerers, Frost Giant shamans, and Serpent Cult masters. And it's also important to note that this particular one you can also do in the Shield Hollow Sim. I personally don't like using the Shield Hollow Sim, as I mentioned in my previous leveling video, but if you're more inclined to it, feel free to. So you can see having a little trouble. Here we go, Hand. Right, so one of the important things with any mission like this in Midtown, and something that I mentioned briefly earlier, is that whenever you have a group of bad guys like this, it is very, very, very important to control yourself as best as you can and not defeat the major bad guy. So in this case, this yellow one right here is the major bad guy, the commander. Anytime you defeat the commander, the rest of the group stops spawning. Sometimes they'll stop spawning before the commander is defeated, depending on what type of group it is, but more often than not, as long as the commander is there and attacking you, then the bad guys will keep coming. So you can see, I had to defeat 50 demons and sorcerers, and I did it with one group. So definitely not bad. Not bad at all. And in this case, this particular mission was a 2 Odin Mark mission, which is very nice. It's relatively cheap as far as if you can find a good group, then you won't have any problems with it. So feel free to have at it, and good luck with it. So with that, I'll move on to the next quest. Alright, back for another Midtown Manhattan quest here. This is going to be one where I'll just do a couple of them, and I won't finish it off on the video because it's going to take too long. Incidentally, I just popped into Midtown, and the Sentinels are the ones that are the supervillains, and one thing I forgot to mention in the Scrutinizing the Sentinels is you can take out the supervillain Sentinels, and it counts towards that. Right, so the particular mission that I'm doing right now is the Defeat Commanders, which is a very, very simple mission. It does only give you 1 Odin Mark because every single group you go after will have a commander. I've mentioned commanders several times, and I'm sure you've heard of them and dealt with them. It's just the guys that are this gold color. That's it. All you need to do is go to every single group that you find and take out the guys that are gold. Not that guy in gold. He's just cosmic prestiging. He's cool. Okay, but that is literally the entire mission. So you just need to go and find all the groups that you can, take out the commanders as quickly as possible. You don't have to take out the regular bad guys, although you certainly may if you wish. You'll still get credit for the experience, obviously, but again, definitely not necessary.
I'm a partner,
And that's really pretty much it. It does help if you have any medallion or item or power or whatever that gives you the red dots for the enemies, because that way you can sort of see where a group's going to be, even if it's like the lava men or the is it moloids? I don't remember, the underground guys, whatever they are. You'll still be able to see the red blips on the map, even if they aren't on the actual screen yet. In the actual instance. Alright, so like I said, this mission can get a little bit grindy, so I'll go ahead and sign off. Like I said, very simple. Just go after the yellow guys for the necessary roughness, defeat commanders. Alright, so on to the next mission. For our next mission, we're going to be doing the Techno-Virus Termination with our good buddy Thing here. And this particular one is pretty simple. It's very straightforward. It's defeat robots and cyborgs in Midtown Manhattan. It's really nice. This is one where you get 2 Odin Marks. So it's decently worth it, and you get to be around Midtown Manhattan with all of those nice juicy mobs to take out, so that's always great. And essentially they actually relatively recently expanded the number of bad guys that count as robots and cyborgs. So you've got Doombots, Spiderbots, you've got the Hydra mechs, the Hydra Vulcan mechs, both the Helios and the Hope, and the Vulcan, Sentinels, and Mega Sentinels. Tons and tons of stuff, in addition to the AIM bad guys. So this is one that allows for a brief little note on it, where essentially summoning a group can come into play. Hopefully I'll be able to demonstrate it. We'll see how lucky I get with the spawns. Just like with anything though, it may or may not go precisely favorably for you. In this case we'll see. So there's some MGH Brutes, which are notoriously difficult to find, I might add. There's some more MGH Brutes. Jeez. Here we go. AIM. Unfortunately we didn't get to activate the spawn, but hopefully I'll run into one later on. Like always though, the commander in this case, we have the Great Philosopher. I will do my best to not take that guy out, because that way we get the constantly spawning bad guys, which is of a huge help in Midtown Manhattan, especially with this particular quest. For this one we need a total of 60, that's 60 of these robots and cyborgs. So quite a few. It can take a while to find all of them. Getting back to what I initially started talking about, the spawn. There are several spawn types. Ooh, we've got mechs here, so those will help. There are several spawn types for the bad guys, for the what's it called? I just said it, for AIM, where you'll see a couple of technicians surrounding a larger bot. So it'll be a wreck bot or a drill bot, something, right? And when you see those guys around there, if you don't do anything to them, they just stand there and they do nothing. But if you hit one of them, or both of them, it doesn't really matter, then they start to a full-fledged AIM spawn. And all the bad guys come in. You get the main guy, who's sort of like the mini MODOK, whatever you want to call him, by whatever name they happen to take at the time. And again, you can do Sentinels, just for fun. But either way, look out for those AIM summons, so to speak. Just as a side note, you get the same thing with the brutes as well, these MGH brutes. But that's another mission. Let's see. So incidentally, there are a couple of brutes right there. Oh man, not having luck with the aim, unfortunately. I'll look around a little. Oh, there you go, perfect. So here we have, Falcon, you ruined it. There was an AIM engineer talking to a civilian on the street. They, if you stand by and just watch what they're saying, obviously you can't listen to it, but if you watch what they say, then the civilian is essentially trying to buy MGH, the mutant growth hormone. And once again, if you hit the AIM person, then you start this summon, just like what happened when Falcon came in and did his Falcon thing. Not that it's really that big of a deal. But either way, that's pretty much it. I also got some spider bots here, which is very exciting. They can be a little bit frustrating because they leave the map or the screen and then they come back at a seemingly random interval. I don't know if it's actually set. But one of the issues with the spider bot specifically is you typically don't get a lot of additional spawns, even if you don't take out the commander. So not really worthwhile. I might even be able to finish this in a decent amount of time and not have to leave. We'll see here. Let's see, get some more of these baddies. Oh jeez. Oh no, I died. Boo. Well, I can go back. Come here, Falcon. Oh, that's depressing. I was doing so well too. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's nice. And it's Professor Tesla. Oh, Tesla, I'll take you down. So that's pretty much it for the Techno-Virus Termination. I'll just finish off these guys here, get my completed legendary quest in just a couple of seconds, and then we'll move on.
How do you like that for a code of honor?
Wait, really? I still have to... Oh, because they aren't cyborgs. Ugh! There we go. There's some robots. Oh, yay! Legendary done. Awesome. Alright, so with that, I will go ahead and move on to the next quest. I'm back for another Midtown Manhattan quest, this one being End the Brute Violence. Yes, please end it. It's terrible. This is one of the ones that can be either Midtown or HoloSim. I believe all of them can. But this particular one is going to give us 2 Odin marks once we're done with it. And it can be one of the most frustrating legendary quests that exists. And the reason simply being because of the brutes. Because the MGH brutes are notoriously difficult to find. It can be really, really rough, but essentially it's one of the ones where you need to sort of activate a spawn. You'll see, oh, look at that, perfect. You'll see 2 of them just sort of standing around, hanging out, and then if you attack one of them, or both of them, then it'll start this spawn going. Now, very, very importantly, you see we've got Kong over here on the left side of the screen. He is the commander, and like several other types, as long as he is there, the spawn will keep going. We need a total of 20, so we actually have enough just with this, which is great. And then the other part of this quest is we need to take out the AIM specialist, because the whole story behind it is AIM generated the MGH, and they created the brute, so it's just all sorts of craziness. Right. Oh, and look at that. We can spawn the AIM group here. So we need to take out the specialists, and the specialists are basically the people in the AIM group. And we only need 5 of them, so it's really, really quick. And boom, look at that. Done. Easy peasy. Just like that, we get 2 Odin marks, and we get to move on to the next one. So with that, I will go ahead and move on to the next quest. We're back with the next Midtown Manhattan quest, and this particular one I will be running with Black Widow, and this one is no big deal. That is true, it is no big deal. This particular one is where we have to go and defeat the gigantic enemies. This is also one where we can do it in the Shield Holosim if you prefer. I personally just like Midtown Manhattan more because it's just easier for me personally. And for this, it's just 1 Odin mark, but the nice thing is that there are plenty of enemies that fit our criteria. So we're looking for Frost Giants, Brutes, Sentinels, the Leapers and Hurlers from the Moloids. We're looking for the Hydra Mechs, both the Helios and Vulcans, and then the Smash Bots and the Drill Bots from AIM. So plenty of bad guys that we can take out with this. Very, very exciting. Very nice. Alright. So we'll just see. This is one where you just sort of have to go around trying to find them. Shouldn't take too long. Like I said, there are plenty of groups that fit the criteria. And not only that, but there are parts of groups that fit criteria. So if you find an AIM group, you can focus on the Drill Bots and the Smash Bots. If you find the Dark Elf / Giant Frost Giant group, you can focus on the Giants, right? And oh, I took out the commander. I didn't mean to. Oh well. These blasted grenades, they have a mind of their own. It's ridiculous. It's okay. We can take them out quick. Shouldn't be too much longer. I only need 4 more, so it's definitely not bad. Again, we can get Sentinels with this as well. And they will count towards it, so that's nice. What was that Falcon? Did he just blow up a car for no reason? All right, there's a nice Sentinel for us. Thank you, sir. And another Sentinel. Oh, boo-hoo, your system's failed. Cry about it. There we go. There's some Moloids. There's a Leaper. Take him out. Incidentally, the commanders for the Moloid groups are always the big guys too, so they count as well. It looks like somebody might have already taken out the... Oh, nope. Speak of the devil. Here comes our commander. Unfortunately, the spider bots don't count towards this particular quest. I guess it makes sense. They're not really that big. Oh, can we get a drill bot? Yes, drill bot. Huzzah! And done and done. Easy peasy. Just like that. That's all it takes. So very simple. Really nice Midtown Manhattan quest, just like many of them are. And so with that, I'll go ahead and move into the next one. The next quest that I will be doing for Midtown Manhattan will be the one titled Cleaning House. And I'll be doing this with Deadpool, which is very exciting. We all love Deadpool. This particular one is a fairly simple quest, but it can be a bit tedious and fairly frustrating. It's only worth 1 Odin mark, and essentially all we have to do is find gang members and Magia. So the gang members are the guys that, I mean, not to stereotype, but they look like gang members. They've got like all the muscle shirts and AK-47s, so fairly easy to spot. The Maggia are actually really easy to spot too, because they're the guys in suits that have assault weapons. Previously, this quest was exceedingly annoying because the numbers were backwards. Before, we had to find 10 Maggia and 5 gang members, but now it's the other way around. It's 5 gang and 10 Maggia. Or, sorry, it's the other way around, being 10 gang members, 5 Maggia. So, for the gang members, it's actually very, very simple. I know I mentioned it previously, it might have been in another video, but there are 2 great locations for finding gang members, and they're always in roughly the same spots of Midtown Manhattan, because the Midtown map does not change. So this is the first one, it's outside the bank. You can see there's basically a bunch of gangsters robbing the bank here. And just with that, I got 7, okay? Which is great, right? But we still need, we need 3 more, which obviously isn't too many. There is one, Cosmic. There is one other location, which is sort of like the bodega type, I guess you could say convenience store, where essentially there's a bunch of gangsters robbing it. Okay? And we'll go right down here. And I don't think it'll be around this corner. It's probably back up the other way. Yeah. So, doop-a-doop-a-doo. Oh, there's a Maggia. So see, Maggia are the guys in the suits that have guns and are shooting at you, essentially. Pretty simple to see. The problem is they can be a little bit rare. So let's see if we can find our other good thing. We're looking for a build. This must be it right here next to me. So this is the building that houses the other gang members. That'll get. Oh, normally it does. So they take a little while to spawn after somebody takes them out. Not too long, but you can also find gang members in the streets as well. But if either the bank or that building are occupied, then see, you can find gang members on the street. He just tried to punch Deadpool in the face, because clearly that's the smart thing to do. Look, here comes a guy with dual katanas and several guns. I think I'll just go punch him in the face. That'll certainly show him what's what. Yes, good job, sir. Now, hopefully I can find a specific spawn of Maggia, where essentially there is a single blue Maggia, and from that one blue Maggia, a bunch of others spawn. And with just that one, then we can complete the entire quest. I already got one just randomly in the street, but that doesn't help us too much. There, see, all the gang members are back here, so you can just take them out real quick, and done and done. I only needed one of them, but still. Now, like I said, Maggia can be a little bit tougher. You will see them on occasion, essentially by the hot dog vendors, or basically on street corners sometimes. And we can see if we can get lucky here. There we go, there's the spawn. So see, we got the blue Maggia member, and then all the other ones. Whew. Ooh, that was close. Alright, so with that, that's it for taking out the gang members and the Maggia. And with that, we'll go ahead and move right into the next quest. And we're back for our next Midtown Manhattan legendary quest here. This one being arguably the most frustrating. If it's not the most, it certainly is pretty high up on the list for frustration's sake. And the quest itself is very, very simple. All you have to do is defeat supervillains. You have to take out 6 at present, and it is worth 3 Odin marks. So you do get a decent reward for it, but it can be very, very frustrating waiting for the spawns, trying to get the supervillains taken out. And not only that, but amongst the spawns, you have varying numbers of how many people you get. So it just so happened that I got pretty lucky here, and we're immediately in a supervillain spawn. So the supervillains range anywhere from just 1 up to, I believe it's 7 as the max at any one time. The only particular spawn that has 1 supervillain is with the Sentinel spawn, because in that case the only one that counts as a supervillain is the Mega Sentinel. All of the other ones are just regular old Sentinels that do actually count towards the Sentinel quest, as does the Mega Sentinel, but the Mega is the only one that is a supervillain for the purposes of this particular legendary quest. So just like that, I got 4 of them, and now, relatively recently, Gazillion added in a timer for when the next wave is going to come, so it's right about 3 minutes. And this is both a blessing and a curse, because you know exactly how long it's going to take, and you know exactly how long it's going to take, which can be exceedingly frustrating if you just want to get moving and go and go and go. If you're really lucky, then you can get the newest dupe wave, which spawns, like I said, I believe it's 7 dupes. And every single one of those counts towards this quest for supervillains. So potentially you can get all of the bad guys in a single one. And hopefully you'll be in a relatively well-populated Midtown Manhattan with people going after every single one of the dupes. And if you do get lucky enough for that, then essentially what's going to happen is you can just go around and hit every dupe. Just hit them once, that's all it takes. And after you hit them once, then just go and take out whichever particular one you wish. Once you've done that, assuming all 6 of them go down, you're going to get credit for every kill because you hit each one. It's a little bit meh, and it's a little bit edgy as far as exploits, but right now it does work. Other than that, the dupe waves only last a certain amount of time, so it doesn't really help that much. But the other option that you have is, if you look right now, there's about a minute and a half left in the countdown time. So I'll go ahead back into the hub. And what happens is when you go into a hub, the countdown in Midtown Manhattan is still going down for this. And now, with the way that buffs are, they do not go down when you're in a hub. So if you're on a buff running legendary quests, then this can be a really good help for you, because you don't necessarily have to just hang around in Midtown taking out random mobs while you're trying to go and finish up the supervillain quest. Instead, you can go, wait in a hub, save your buffs, do a little bit of a timer to figure out how long it's going to be until the next wave, and then go back into the Midtown Manhattan, because you're going to go into the exact same version, I guess you could say, of the instance. Because you go back into the same one, the countdown is going to be the same. The only thing to be aware of with this is, for Midtown Manhattan, the blocks of levels go essentially every 5. So in my case, I'm level 29 right now, so it includes 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 for the levels you can go into. 20, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that is. And the problem is, if you get to the next level bracket and then leave, you're not going to come back in the same one. You're going to come back in whatever the next bracket is for you. Now, obviously, I've come back into Midtown Manhattan here, and the timer is gone because I did leave, but there you go. Pretty much right as I come in, the bosses spawn again, and we're ready to go. I didn't waste my buffs, although I wasn't really on buffs. The only thing is that, if you didn't notice, I did get this experience bonus gift that drops randomly from mobs. And the problem with those is those still go down in hubs. I don't know if that's going to be changed anytime soon, but as of right now, that's how they work. Wow, the Gorgon thing is very, very annoying now. I hadn't run into him recently. Oh, weak. So, anyway, that's pretty much it for supervillains. I'll see if I can take out 2 of them real quick just to get credit for the mission before I go. But I'll say if I die again, then I won't really bother. But let's see here. Come on, heal up, spirit. Let's see here. All 3 of them are still there, so that's something, I guess. No, 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 no! Don't hit me! Whew. Gah! This particular wave of bad guys is a very, very frustrating one without anybody else around. Because all 3 of these bad guys, Elektra, Gorgon, and Bullseye, can all take you out in pretty much one hit. So it can be very, very frustrating on your own, which unfortunately is the situation I'm in right now. So I'm just going to get my Eternity Splinter. And then, there. Yay! Hulk will save us! And Storm too, I guess. God, no, I'm made of stone. Gimme, gimme, gimme. I'll just sort of stay over here a little bit, because I seem to be quite squishy. Alright, Elektra's almost down. I'll focus on her. No, no! Bullseye! I hate you. Alright. So Elektra's almost down. Should be able to finish relatively soon. And Bullseye I just do not like at all. There we go. There's one. And... oh, that's it. Sorry. My Odin marks are just sitting there. Doo-doo-doo. Hi, Odin marks. Thank you. Ooh, and a rune. Huzzah. Alright, well, that's it for this particular Midtown Manhattan quest. I will go ahead and move on to the next one. We're ready now with arguably one of the easiest of the Midtown Manhattan quests. Here playing Taskmaster right now for this particular one. Worth only 1 Odin mark, so it goes to show you how relatively simple it is. This one being the Defeat Alien Interlopers. For this, there are a couple of categories of mobs that we're trying to find. Those being the Ngarai Demons, the Brood, Dark Elves, and Frost Giants. Okay, so like I said, fairly simple to do, and for those of you who don't know, the demons particularly, once you find a spawn of the demons, they keep on going. It is... oh, nah, speak of the devil. There we have Brood. So I'm going to avoid taking out the commander as best as I can. I can't speak for other players like Spider-Man running around with his web wrecking ball though. But you know, sometimes that happens. So we just have to deal with it. But I still got a decent number out of it. Essentially, that's the general plan regardless. And like with any Midtown Manhattan quest where you're tracking down specific mobs, do your best to not take out the commander. So here's some Dark Elves that we can take out. And these will help us for it. And these guys are technically aliens. They aren't from Earth. Although we won't get into semantics. Because nobody wants that. I wonder if Curse and Malekith count as aliens. We can go find out. It just so happens that they spawned here. Unless we find something better. Like some Brood. Haha! I would say that arguably the aliens are some of the most common spawns in Midtown Manhattan. Just in general, be it the demons or the Brood or particularly the giants. I don't really see a great deal of... let's see if these guys count. No, those guys don't count. I would imagine Curse and Malekith do, though. But I'm not going to mess with that right now because we've got to find some. Those aren't aliens. Like I said, I personally find that these are some of the most common spawns. And you can do this quest with one spawn, particularly with the Ngarai Demons. Okay, so with that, I'll just finish the quest up here. And I will go ahead and move on to the next one. And we're back again with another Midtown Manhattan mission, this time with our good buddy Iron Man. So this one is a very popular and extremely easy mission in Midtown called Anti-Eliteism. Okay, it has a cool name and it has a very simple task. All you need to do is take out elites. That's it. So you're looking for blue guys, you're looking for yellow guys. And that's literally the entirety of the mission. Here, Sentinels count, because Sentinels are technically yellow. It should not take that long to take out a Sentinel. But that's literally the entirety of the mission. There's a blue, there's a blue. So just like with many of the Midtown Manhattan missions, you're going to want to just go around and try to find blues and yellows. Like some, if you want, you can avoid taking out the commanders, the yellow ones. so that you can spawn, keep spawning new guys. It's not really recommended for this particular mission though, or at least I personally wouldn't recommend it, because the vast majority of the guys that are going to be coming in are just the regular ones. They're not going to be the elites that you actually need. So I personally would avoid it, but you are absolutely free to do whatever you want, obviously. Feel free to do or do not do. But yeah, so like I said, you have to take out 50 of them. I believe it's just one Odin mark. Yeah, it's just one Odin mark, so obviously speaks to the effort that you have to put in. I'm not going to record the entirety of it. Again, just go out, take out the bad guys, and you'll be done soon enough. So with that, I will go ahead and move on to the next quest.
We're gonna play the game, the PlayStation all day, with the Metal Gear Solid to Tekken 3, and from Omega Boost to Resident Evil. Just play for the fun, cause we got it going on.